Hey, thanks for tuning into the Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow podcast. This week's episode, featuring Chris Maestro of the newly opened BierWax in Brooklyn, New York, is the final show of 2017. We're so glad Chris finally opened this awesome spot, and we know you guys and gals out there are going to dig it too. We had a lot of fun this past year and would like to thank all of our listeners for tuning in and supporting BTBT. Thanks. This beer's for you. We'll be back in the second week of January, kicking off a new year with new content, new guests, new breweries, and new events. We got a lot of dopeness planned, and we think you'll really dig what we got going on. If you haven't already, check out the BTBT store at BierTodayBeerTomorrow.com for BTBT shirts and 16-ounce can-style glassware, perfect for any drinking occasion. Without further ado, enjoy the final show of 2017, and we'll see you all in 2018. Happy holidays, and Happy New Year. Cheers. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow, and we are very, very happy to be here at BierWax in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Guys, how's everybody feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm chilling, man. Very good to be back on the show. Yeah. This is a nice little spot, too. Thank you.
This is Perry. Glad to be out in another brand new spot in Brooklyn. I mean, love it when more stuff in my neighborhood pops up, so.
Absolutely.
Excited.
Absolutely. And we have an extremely special guest. Sir, please introduce yourself.
I am Chris Maestro, the founder and owner of BierWax. BierWax is today officially 1 week old. We just opened a soft opening a week ago, so it's such a pleasure to have Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow on.
Yay! Hey. I'll drink to that. Cheers.
Cheers
Cheers
to that for sure.
Cheers. So, Chris, tell us about the BierWax journey.
So the BierWax journey really started about 5 years ago. Obviously, just a thought in my head, figuring out a way to really marry the two passions of mine, two things that I loved greatly in life, besides my family, which is craft beer and vinyl records. So I was a record collector for many years. I collected records for over 2 decades, DJ'd all over the place, and then I got into craft beer, I would say about 12 to 13 years ago. And in that time, I had different iterations of what BierWax may be, but then the inspiration came really in the form of learning about this place in Japan called JBS, which is Jazz, Blues, and Soul. And it's just this older Japanese dude who's a record collector who basically just opened up a bar because he ran out of space in his house for records, and started this bar that is a phenomenon called a Jazukisa in Japan. They're basically vinyl cafes or vinyl bars. And this dude, his name is Kobayashi-san, has about, I would say they estimated at like 10 to 12,000 records in his bar. So it's literally every wall is records. It's insane.
Wow.
He's the sole owner, the sole worker. That dude is a workhorse and is there, opens up every day, loves to chat with people, loves to put records on. He's a big jazz head, so he has a lot of jazz vinyl. I'm a jazz head, but I'm also a huge hip-hop head. So, I wanted to also have a place where people can really appreciate really good hip-hop, a lot of golden era hip-hop, and all the things that basically gave birth to hip-hop. So whether it's disco, funk, soul, breaks, Latin, rock, and just have a place to listen to all that in a vinyl format while just sipping on some amazing beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds great. I mean, on your Instagram page, the word you used is boom bap.
Yes.
So can you tell me? I mean, I'm a hip hop guy.
Okay.
All right. So tell me your favorite rap artists.
All right. There are a lot.
It's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a loaded question. And we more or less via online chatted about some of that.
We did.
But I would have to say after that 10-minute freestyle of Black Thought freestyle.
Oh, man.
That was
it's
incredible.
crazy. Everybody's
crazy.
loving that.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been a huge Black Thought fan, but I think he's moved up to my top 3.
Okay.
So, of course, a huge Black Thought fan. I'm always a big Nas fan. Illmatic is one of those records that I thought would be like the first record I'd play here.
Yeah.
It just, the soft opening, things slipped away pretty quickly from like all the firsts, but maybe for the grand opening, Illmatic will be one of the records that I spin.
Okay.
There's so many. And when I say boom bap bar, it's really to really focus on the golden era of hip hop, and not just that, but to make a kind of a line in the sand between more current artists that are more trap music. Which, listen, if you like trap music, it's all good. There's a lane for that, and there's a rhyme and a reason and a purpose.
Sure.
But it's not what I like, and I'm not, I am, definitely an old head in that sense, but
Sure.
but it's just what I appreciate, what I love, and what I'm trying to preserve is boom bap culture of hip hop, which is is that snare, that kick in that snare.
Yeah,
Not the very fast hi-hat, which is the signature sound of trap music.
Right.
And I just gotta just for one last thing on that.
Sure, go ahead.
Is I feel like there's two things can coexist, right? Great trap music and all those artists that are modern, and boom bap hip hop. And there's a lot of current artists that from like Sky Zoo and Torre, Terminology. Even
All dope
Kendrick,
dudes.
I would consider in that lane.
J. Cole.
There's a lot of great artists that I feel like you can really connect the dots from Big Daddy Kane, from Rakim to folks that are more current like J. Cole and Kendrick, right? But like disco, house music, techno are different genres that really emerged. Disco was like the predecessor that gave birth to techno, to house, to garage. They're different genres, so that's my thing. I'm like, why can't we just say that trap is a different genre? But that's whatever.
Yeah, well, rock music has punk.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
have
sure.
like they have death metal and
Exactly.
things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way that rap's kind of going now. Is where you guys got a lane. You guys mumbling.
Yeah.
You over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, I'm not trying to judge anyone that likes trap music, but it just won't show up here at BierWax.
Good.
You won't find any trap records up here in those stacks.
I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
So just getting back to BierWax. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about how you started in the beer scene and how that all kind of came together?
I mean, I didn't know if it was intentional or not, but I'm wearing a Greenport Harbor shirt today.
That's right.
I basically, I knew that I wanted to be in the industry, and I figured the way that was kind of my entry point was to do the level 1 Cicerone exam. I did that and had, some kind of paper, some kind of something, right, to then apply to some jobs in the industry, and met some, 2 dope people from Greenport Harbor, and they had an opening as a brand ambassador, and boom, I was hired. So that was really my entry into the industry. Did some events for them. Was started to actually serve beer. I was going to be hired at the tasting room out in Peconic, but an opportunity arose at Finback Brewery, and Basil and Kevin, the owners of Finback, invited me to come in and shadow behind the bar. It worked out well, and then I rose from being a bartender to eventually being the taproom manager at Finback. So I was at Finback for a couple of years, which really was like the trial run for me of how to really run a bar. If it wasn't for that experience, I would be here like a bumbling fool trying to figure out how to run this place. So
Sure.
I really give a lot of props to both Kevin and Basil for taking me under their wing.
Wow. Yeah. Shout out to Finback and shout out to Greenport, two both great breweries. So can you tell us a little bit about that whole process of actually finding a place, getting it to where you needed to be, and actually now all the way up to what's got to feel amazing to this soft opening?
Yeah, I mean, I think you had mentioned earlier, how long you've been working on this, and I mentioned 4 or 5 years, and it was just an idea. But then there was the actual practical business planning, which was really a whole year of really trying to study business plans, figure out what do I need. Second year after that was then trying to shop that business plan around to people that would believe in this vision. And I found some really amazing people that became partners and said, "Listen, I love this idea. I have some, a few $1,000s laying around, and I'll throw it at you because I believe in this vision of yours." So I'm thankful for that. That was really the catapult to start the LLC officially, to start looking at real estate. That whole game took about a year to find this space, and we were originally supposed to be in Bushwick. We were in a negotiation for a place on Moore Street for almost 6 months, and this place right here on Vanderbilt, 556 Vanderbilt, landed in our laps, quite by accident.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes this is how things happen,
Absolutely.
just straight by chance, and it just feels like quite the blessing because I love the neighborhood. I used to live 3 blocks away from here back in 99, a long time ago. The place was very different. The neighborhood was very different. But to have somewhat of a grounding in this neighborhood, my wife's from Brooklyn, so it just feels great to be back in Brooklyn and to have BierWax right here on Vanderbilt.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really digging this place. I mean, so you guys have been soft open now for as of today about a week, right?
Yeah, 1 week.
Wow, that's awesome. So I mean, if you could just kind of relate to the audience, like the vibe here, or like your kind of vision behind it. So you touched on it a little, but like just let the audience know kind of what's going on here and what can they expect.
Man. I mean, and a lot of people still don't really understand the name beer and wax, right? Wax is like slang in a sense for vinyl. So it was just a very simple way of combining beer in the German spelling, B-I-E-R, and wax, right? And being a record collector, being a DJ. So it's really that dual theme of trying to really curate amazing beer and curate amazing sounds under one roof. So that's basically what we're trying to do. And we're trying to really focus on local craft beer as much as we can. There's so many great breweries in New York, whether that's in New York City proper or out in Long Island or Hudson Valley. So we're really trying to make our tap list represent those amazing breweries.
Oh, yeah, and you guys got a great tap list going on here tonight.
Thank you.
Got Iconic on there, Equilibrium, LIC Beer Project, Barrier, Grim, which I just had. The Grim Zap is phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
Just to name a few. So great tap list.
Thank you.
So now going forward, can people eventually will they be able to do growler fills here? Will they be able to buy? You got some really sleek, awesome glasses.
Yes.
They be able to purchase that here on site as well.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be selling merch, our glassware, our T-shirts. We're not gonna do growler fills, just because it's gonna be. We imagine pretty high volume people that are coming to taste beer here in house, and we don't have the type of liquor license to sell stuff to go.
Okay.
But we do want it to be a destination for people that are, going to Barclays, that are in Brooklyn, that are looking for really a great, unique spot that really pays homage to really old school New York in many ways. I was born and raised in New York. Grew up listening to hip hop. So this was really an extension of my childhood in many ways, and the things that I love the most.
Wow. So now behind the bar, it's painting the picture for the audience. You have a massive record collection. How many records are up there? Would you say?
We did a quick little estimate. It's probably around like 5,500.
Wow.
Are these from your personal collection?
These are from my personal collection. And that's the number one question when people come in and meet me for the first time. Like, so are these your records? I'm like, yes, they were in my basement like a week ago. And the second question is like, so how are they organized? And
that's a good question.
Yeah. And at this point, they're kind of all over the place. But I'm pretty OCD, so they will get back into alphabetical order pretty soon. I swear that I will get to that one of these days.
Okay, now do you dig, and if you do you travel and dig?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yeah, I mean, do you dig for records, and where some crazier places that you've gone?
I mean, I'm not the kind of international traveler like you hear folks going to Brazil and going to Japan, and I was an educator. I was a teacher, so my paychecks were not great. So I had to be very frugal with my collecting, and I've been blessed to have like friends of friends and older, grandparents of friends that are like, oh, I have a basement full of vinyl, and I don't really need them. And a lot of that, is sometimes records that are not great. Like, no offense to no disrespect to Barbra Streisand or Neil Diamond and that kind of, but it's not really what we're gonna play here, BierWax, but. It was years of getting very lucky and going to some record stores that are kind of on the low and getting like 100 records for literally like $50 and getting some really great steals.
Nice.
So does this represent the totality of your collection? You got more stashed away?
We have a few more stashed away, a lot of 45 stashed away, and some others that just don't have jackets that we need to clean up a little bit. But this is really the majority of the collection.
Now, how happy were you to open up all that basement space in your house?
Oh, no, I wasn't happy. My wife was happy. I was like, it was whatever to me, but my wife was like, thank God we can put the girls' toys down there now.
Until you get more records, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So do you still DJing?
I don't do much but sleep and come here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hustle, right?
Yeah.
That's the grind.
Yeah, that is the grind. So.
That's awesome, man. So when is the official? Is there a date yet for the official grand opening?
Official grand opening. There are a few grand openings, right? So we're planning a New Year's Eve grand opening.
Oh wow! Okay.
Tickets are on sale. You can check our website. It's through Eventbrite. But both the link in our bio on Instagram and also our website has the information for the New Year's. We have a limited amount of tickets because of capacity.
Sure.
But then we're gonna have an industry grand opening for like industry folks in the craft beer industry. You'll are invited to that as well. We're gonna have a neighborhood grand opening. Because capacity is 74 here. So if we had one major grand opening, it would just be like we'd have to have a bouncer at the door.
Right. Yeah.
No, honestly, because we had a pretty successful Indiegogo campaign. Okay, I'm being humble. It was a very successful Indiegogo campaign because we our goal was to raise $30,000 in a month, and we raised $35,000 in 3 weeks.
Wow.
So and we had over 330, I want to say, backers. All those people having a sense of ownership in a small way in BierWax. Because they opened up their wallets and they gave to the cause. So those people are also going to want to come to a grand opening. So there might also be a separate one for Indiegogo folks as well.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's really, really cool. So and what are the hours of operation? So I know it's soft launch mode. Are these the official hours? Will the hours change? Can you tell us about that?
So the hours right now until basically January 1st are weekdays 5 to 10. Mm-hmm. Weekends basically 3 to midnight. Sunday is also 3 to 10. So those are the soft opening hours, but then when we get into our grand opening, the hours will be weekdays from 3 to midnight, weekends including Friday, Saturday to 2 in the morning. So that's going to be 12 to 2.
Okay.
And then Sunday will be basically 12 to midnight.
So you're gonna have a little sleeping bag underneath the bar.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Luckily, I have a good friend who lives down the block who gave me a set of his keys, so I'm blessed in that sense. So,
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the art on the walls. I know you got a lot of rappers on the walls, a lot of Wu-Tang guys.
Yes, and the question I've been asking people is we have majority of Wu-Tang members on the wall. This was art that was created by a good friend of mine named Kel 5MH. So he wanted to contribute to the Indiegogo campaign, but he said the funds were tight. But he said, listen, I have a whole house full of really amazing art that will go really well at BierWax. So I said, please, it's amazing. So the question I have is, who's missing from that wall in terms of Wu-Tang?
Is it you, God?
Yes. Okay. Ding, ding.
He said it right off the bat,
right.
too. He knows his Wu-Tang.
That was quick.
I mean, I was
amazing.
looking at it before, but for a little bit. But I mean, it's awesome. I mean, so that's the next step. You got to get a painting of you God in here.
Yeah, exactly. He might have it. He's trying to find it at home. He has a lot of art, so he's trying to find the missing you God. But we're gonna do it every 2 months. We're gonna try to rotate artists in something that represents either theme, either beer or music.
Oh, that's really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I know you got to run. We really appreciate you being here and hosting Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow. Is there anything that you want to leave the audience with before you go?
I mean, I really just want to say, come down and check it out. I think we have definitely something very special happening here. We are going to have also DJs, typically on weekends or Thursday through Sunday. If you want to do any kind of event here, please get in touch with us at BierWax. That's BierWax at Gmail, so we can try to set something up. But I really appreciate all the support. I thank you folks, Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow, for making this happen.
Absolutely. And real quick, you want to just shout out your website, social media, where people can find out more?
Thank you. So the website is www. I guess people don't really say that anymore. BierWax.com. And again, I'm an old head. And the social media is for whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's at BierWax, BIRWAX.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much again, man.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. We're glad to be here.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, man. This is Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow. Shout out to Chris from BierWax for hopping on the show. Really cool dude, really digging this place. Really cool vibe here. Guys, what do you think? How are you guys feeling about this place?
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can combine hip-hop and beer, I'm going to like it. Hip-hop and alcohol. Fuck it. Let's just go there. You know what I mean? So, also, it's that boom bap shit. So this is a place that's not too far from where I live. I'll be up in here. You see me at that bridge and tunnel. You'll see me here.
Yeah, this is definitely I was actually looking at moving to this neighborhood or general area because two of my other favorite bars, Copenhagen and Gold Star, are, quick walks from this place basically.
Yeah.
Which would have been dangerous but fun. But even without it, it's still pretty close to Barclays, so it wasn't too bad. Still pretty easy to get to for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little out of the way for me, but I'll definitely make this trip again. I like this place. I really like the vibe here. And now guys, what is so we can talk about what we're drinking right now. I'm drinking the Grimm Zap Double IPA. That is actually Grimm is actually going to be opening up in like Brooklyn, border Queens, sometime very soon. So I'm very excited about that. Grimm, even though some people, I recently read an article where they were rating like top hazy New England style IPAs, and Grimm was on it. When I think of Grimm, I don't think IPAs. I think of like really, really like succulent sours and things like that. But I have to say, I'm really enjoying this this DIPA for sure. Perry, what are you drinking?
Actually, I had a taster of the Grimm as well. Super easy drinking double IPA. Like, wouldn't even think it was a double actually.
Right, smooth.
And now I'm drinking on the Gun Hill Stream of Consciousness. I think it's with Barrier as well.
I think it's a collab with Rockaway.
Oh, Rockaway, that's what it was. Yeah. It's an easygoing sour, nothing too crazy, but it tastes okay.
Cool. And Just, what are you drinking on?
So I'm drinking a wild ale. I can't see what it says from Equilibrium. And did you have the title?
It's called, I think, There and Back Again.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, There and Back Again. And I think this is great. This is one of the best beers I've had in a while. It's really tart, and tartness, which this show has shown me.
Do you want to compare? Compare and contrast?
Man, I really like some tart beers, which is what I learned from being on BTBT. Because before it was just kind of like, just give me that pale ale, nothing crazy. Now it's like, oh, you got sours? Hey.
Yeah.
So let me try this beer.
Go ahead. You're going to try the Stream of Consciousness. I actually also had a taster of the iconic Pecan Porter. I've had that in the past. I enjoyed the Pecan Porter, and I've also got the Dos Vidania Imperial Stout sitting next to me, taster as well, which I can't wait to get to. And Justin, you just tried the beer Perry was drinking on, that Gun Hill Rockaway collab. What do you think of that?
Oh, I like that a lot. It's not super tart, but it has a little bit of flavor at the end too. A little bit
it's
of
like a sweet fruitiness, sort of.
Yeah, like right at the end, for sure.
It's probably a little of the lactose, actually.
Probably.
Probably a little of the sweetness from the lactose. Mm-hmm. So now, just taking a moment. This is our last show of the year, and BTBT. Of course, we're a collective, but this main crew here of us three, we've been going hard the past couple of months, laying down a lot of shows, and just kind of looking back. Do you guys want to just quickly just tell us what's been some of your favorite moments or favorite shows that we've done in the past few months?
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed the show at the Well. That really sticks out in my mind as a show that I like, just because it was just an all-day thing and it was a good vibe, and we got to meet a lot of home brewers that, just people that, maybe are aspiring to do it commercially, or maybe you just want to always just do some small batches. I thought that was really cool, and that was a big learning experience for me. I got to give a shout out to Island to Island Brewery. I thought what they did was pretty cool, because they were doing a lot of different things, and they're in a place that seemed to not have any breweries near it, let alone bars maybe.
Yeah, they were kind of isolated out there. But good place.
Good place. And as far as to get there, for me, like it was a very weird trip, because I had to go back on the L, then take a bus. It was weird.
I just Ubered it. So Perry, how about you? What was and I agree, by the way, but both really good shows, especially Brew for a Cure. I was surprised with the beers at Island to Island, because I really didn't know a whole much about them. Sure. I really enjoyed their beers.
Yeah, I think that was very surprising, because I think we went in there just like, oh, these people out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, I always like trying new beers, always have an open mind. I knew that they did things differently, so I'm like, okay, let's see if they can pull this off. And I enjoyed everything I had there, to be honest.
For sure.
And we walked out of there with commemorative growlers, too.
Yes, absolutely.
And Brew for a Cure was also a really good time.
Yes.
I enjoyed that episode, too. Shout out to all those homebrewers. Perry, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say Brew for the Cure was definitely a lot of fun. The end of summer event I thought was really interesting for me. because it was a wild show with tons of awesome brewers, and it really exposed me to a lot more of the scene, like early on, still being new to the city. And then I really liked craft culture as well. I thought it was a great story.
Yeah.
Like, that guy was awesome. You just really heard a lot about
Very chill.
what was really going on. How did he get there? What was, he really cared, and you could hear it.
He was a good dude. Yeah, he's
very
a good guy.
passionate.
And I mean, I gotta say, the Pittsburgh show. When else do I get to wax nostalgic about
Yeah,
my
I think
hometown?
I think that takes the cake for me being the drunkest. Like that. I got the most drunk at that Pittsburgh show.
Yeah, that barley wine put you down.
we popped your barley wine cherry.
Oh yeah. That put me a little bit over the edge right there.
Yeah, I have to say the Pittsburgh show was a lot of fun because I had a lot of beers I never had before. Really allowed me to further explore the craft beer Pittsburgh scene, which was dope. So that was a really good episode. Shout out to Perry for coming through with the contraband across straight lines.
Absolutely.
And
killing it.
Yeah, definitely. And I also agree with. I thought the end of summer show, which was 2 parts, was a great show. I mean, we had so many special guests. It was fairly well attended. But it was a nice vibe. It was a nice balance where it wasn't like super packed, but you had enough time to mingle and try a lot of beer, and we tried a lot of fucking beer.
So many good beers there that night too.
Oh yeah, there was a ton of good beers, and also breweries that you don't readily, even though they're in New York, they're upstate, that you don't readily get.
Exactly.
And that was a lot of fun. I have to say, I also enjoyed the Absurd Conclave show that was broken down into 2 parts. We got pretty sauced for that show.
We did.
That was a lot of fun. But it's hard to pick a top one. It definitely is hard. I mean, I think these episodes are getting they all have something interesting about them. I like to think that they're getting better and better. Obviously, some episodes may end up being better than others, but. Yeah, I think it's been we've been going pretty strong. I mean, we've been putting out shows weekly, more or less. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to 2018. I think 2018 is going to be a bigger and better year for Beer Today, Beer Tomorrow.
Sure. Now, what do we have coming up? Or like in the what can you talk about that's happening in 2018?
So we for sure we have Strong Rope. So BTBT, like I mentioned, we're taking we're taking the first week of January off. We're back the second week of January. We got Strong Rope confirmed, and then we are in discussion. It's basically just nailing a date with Gun Hill from the Bronx, and one of their co-owners was actually on the last day of summer show. And then also we got Dubco in Bayshore. We just need to give them a date. So we'll have that going down. And then Queens Brewery, they just need to open. They want us in there, so we'll be doing something with Queens Brewery as well. Bridge and Tunnel has their annual Rock'em Sock'em Robots tournament.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably going to be in February. We're just waiting on the date.
Shout out to Rich.
Shout out to Rich and Bridge and Tunnel. So we got that going on. And then there's a couple of other breweries we're currently in discussion with.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, just name names. Put out a wish list.
So we are currently we're talking to Threes Brewing right now. Just started talking to Barrier. I would love to get into both those places, especially Barrier. A wish list. I'd like to get into LIC. I'd like to get into Other Half. Other Half is the major kind of that East Coast
Sure.
New York haze craze. That's Other Half, so it'd be dope to get in there. But I mean, we're just looking to do and also I'd like to do more a lot of these beer fests coming up too.
Sure.
We should try to check out Folks Beer.
Finback.
Yes,
I like to see Finback.
Finback and Volksbier. Yes.
I'd like to go to Peekskill, and then let's do a hike, and then go do a podcast with Peekskill or something like that. I think that'd be a good idea. Maybe some of these, if you're on that Metro North line, I'll take a Saturday out there. I think that'd be nice, especially when the weather gets warmer.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be down to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm hoping bigger and better things for BTBT in 2018, and hopefully getting back to the blogging. We had so many consistent blogs. We blogged I think like 52 weeks in a row, and then kind of all the episodes came up and shit's happening. So definitely gonna get back up on the blogging as well. and really just looking to kind of expand the content that we're delivering and keep getting drunk as fuck.
Okay, you have a wish list of breweries we'd like to be at, or?
I mean, for me, I think the problem is you guys already did so many before I showed up.
Sure.
I mean, we still got to do a Pittsburgh escape sometime.
That'd be nice.
Fly down there.
Sure.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm actually more interested, like I was saying in the other shows, I go out to the bars more than the breweries, you know?
Sure.
So
yeah.
there's a bunch of great beer bars in this area.
Yeah, it'd be
that
cool
I
to
think
maybe
would be
like
really
go to
good for a
Gold
couple
Star.
of those,
Let's
yeah.
put some names. Like let's
Gold
say
Star.
names. Name names.
My local is also pretty awesome. Owl Farm. It's okay.
Yeah, Owl Farm is dope. I'd like to be.
I'd like to do Bar Great Harry would be an awesome show as well. Those guys definitely know what's up.
Yeah, I think we've done some beer bars in the past, but I certainly think there's an opportunity to do more of those. Eventually we're going to hit everybody, which is going to be a great feeling. I mean, we're not there yet, but also, there's breweries in like Hillsborough, which I believe is in Staten Island.
Yeah.
They're fairly new.
Yep.
Staten Island's kind of the thought of traveling over there kind of.
Yeah, I've never been to that borough.
Yeah,
be a good excuse.
But there's a good excuse to get over there. I would like to get over to Hillsborough as well. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to kind of maybe BTBT does a road trip. Who knows? Maybe we go visit
Philly.
some breweries and do some shows there.
Go south to Philly and then go through the state. Hit up Trogs on the way.
Could do that.
Be a whole PA show.
There you go.
Or
There
set
you
of
go.
shows maybe. Yeah.
Sure.
There you go.
But I mean, to get back to the topic of the episode, BierWax, I think this is a great place and a place that I plan to frequent, especially because like it's a place that Perry and I can get to relatively easy.
Yeah. For
It's
sure.
a little bit more difficult for you, but
Well, it's not too bad for me to get to. It's not too bad.
I mean,
for me to get
Okay.
if you can get to Atlantic Barclays, which there's 8 lines running through there or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, it's not too bad to get to. It depends where I am, but today it took me. I mean, it was a bit of a walk. So with the walk, it took me about 35 minutes, and also I missed because they don't have their full awning up yet, so I kind of walked by it the first time. But this is a great spot. I like the layout. I really like the vibe, and I like the concept, like you were
Yeah.
saying before.
we're listening to J. Rue the Damager right now. You know what I'm saying? So can't be mad at it.
So we may have a rival to Inneborough. Well, Inneborough is a brewery, so it's different. So Inneborough still is the brewery that plays the best music of any brewery anywhere. But BierWax, they might rival them as far, at least as far as the music
I think
goes.
they're doing a good job right now. But also give a shout out to Iconic and Bruno Daddy. Seems like he's doing a good job as well. I need to come peep you.
Yeah, definitely got to see, and definitely got to make our way back to Iconic, hang out there and kick it there for a little bit, and definitely shout out to Bruno Daddy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we'd like to say we're wishing everybody a very very happy, prosperous New Year. I hope wish everyone
Yes.
a lot of health, wealth,
Happy
happiness,
holidays. Yes.
and really good craft beer.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, guys.
Thank you for listening.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening. Keep listening, please. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the support. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Spread this BTBT. Let's grow these BTBT goons. Have them all over the world. We love it. And, we're just here trying to bring you the best possible craft beer-related content that we can. And, again, here's to bigger and better things in 2018, guys.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.